Right when the world expected Bradley Cooper to be everywhere, riding the wave of Oscar buzz, red carpets, and late-night interviews, he vanished. No press tours, no glamorous parties, no social media updates. Hollywood buzzed with questions. Had the pressure broken him? Was he hiding from failure? But behind that sudden silence was a choice, one that revealed a side of Bradley Cooper that few had ever seen. What he was really doing during his disappearance says more about the man than any award ever could. When Bradley Cooper's name appeared yet again among the Oscar nominees, many assumed it was business as usual. Another award season, another nod for the actor-director who had become Hollywood's golden boy. He had just delivered one of his most personal and praised performances to date. But then silence. As the spotlight burned brighter, Cooper quietly stepped out of it. No red carpet appearances, no endless interviews, no social media fanfare. In a town obsessed with visibility, he simply disappeared. At first, it felt like a PR strategy, a moment of mystery before a major return. But days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. While fellow nominees made headlines with glamorous appearances and viral soundbites, Cooper remained a ghost. Rumors started swirling. Was he burned out? Was he battling something private? Or had the weight of award season finally crushed him? The truth, as it turns out, was far less sensational, but infinitely more human. After years of pushing himself in front of and behind the camera, Cooper had finally reached a point where he needed something Hollywood rarely allows: stillness. For over a decade, he'd gone full throttle, racking up nominations, carrying blockbusters, transforming physically and emotionally for roles like American Sniper, A Star is Born, and Maestro. Behind every performance was meticulous preparation, and behind every directorial move, months of obsession. The Oscar nominations were never a finish line. They were a checkpoint on a road that never stopped. But in 2025, something shifted. Insiders close to Cooper say it wasn't burnout, it was intention. He wasn't hiding, he was healing. After pouring years into Maestro, a film that demanded he become Leonard Bernstein, not just physically but spiritually, he emerged emotionally drained. The applause, no matter how loud, wasn't enough to refill the tank. And so, he did what most stars fear. He stepped away. While the cameras waited, Cooper returned to the parts of himself that existed long before the fame. He spent time with his daughter, away from the press. He retreated to quiet spaces, away from studios, surrounded by nature and close friends. Those who saw him said he looked lighter, more grounded. He was reading, writing, listening to music, not for a role, not for a project, but for himself. And slowly, that silence started to speak volumes. In many ways, his disappearance wasn't a retreat. It was a statement. In an industry where success is measured by visibility, Cooper chose presence over performance. It was the kind of quiet rebellion that only someone who had seen the top of the mountain could understand. He didn't need to prove anything anymore. Not to the Academy. Not to the audience. Not even to himself. And when he did reemerge, months later, it wasn't on a red carpet or a flashy magazine cover. It was in a quiet interview, speaking softly about the difference between ambition and peace. "There's a version of me," he said, "that chased everything. And there's another version that just wants to be home." That version is the one we're seeing now. Bradley Cooper's disappearance wasn't a mystery. It was a lesson, a reminder that even in the noisiest industries, silence has power. That walking away, even at the peak, can be the boldest move of all. He didn't vanish because he failed. He vanished because he'd succeeded in something deeper. Reconnecting with the man behind the roles. In a world where fame never stops knocking, Bradley Cooper dared not to answer. And in doing so, he reminded us all what it really means to arrive.